there YouTube! Today I'm going to bring you my review of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. I went to a midnight release party for this and it was so much fun and so nostalgic, and you can see that video links in the description. So Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is a play by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. It says based on an original news story by J.K. Rowling, and then it says a new play by Jack Thorne. So definitely a collaborative effort. I don't know exactly who wrote most of the words, but it seems like the idea came from J.K. Rowling, but most of the writing was done by this dude down here. Not 100% sure, but that's just what I'm getting. So Cursed Child joins our favorite characters, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and the whole gang 19 years later as Harry is dropping his second son off at King's Cross to go to Hogwarts for the first time. It picks up where the last book ended in the epilogue. And Cursed Child is actually a play, it's not a novel. It's meant to be seen on stage. Right now it's running in London, and it has been for a little bit, but it just had its grand opening, and this book was released July 31st, Harry and J.K. Rowling's birthday, 2016. So it's a little bit different than your normal Harry Potter book. It is in script format. But they released it as a book because everybody wants to know, and Harry Potter fans love their books. First, I'm going to give you guys a spoiler-free review, and then we're going to go into the details and talk a little bit, some spoilers, because I've got some spoilers that I need to talk about. So, first off, I generally thought this book was really great. I think it stayed true to the heart of the Harry Potter series, which is really what I was looking for. Some of the plot, not gonna lie, gonna be honest, that some of the plot is, it's not great. It's not great. Some of the plot had me kind of going WTF, but I really do feel like that at its heart, this book is a Harry Potter story. I say if you're a hardcore Harry Potter book fan, you definitely want to pick this up to find out what happens to your favorite characters. Overall, I liked it. I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. There's so much to say about this book. First off, I read it in about 5 hours, between the hours of 1 and 5 in the morning. This book is actually a pretty quick read. It's in 2 parts because it's technically 2 plays, but it's really not that long. And since it's in script format, it goes by quickly. I want to see this play so badly. Like reading this made the want to see this even more. Even though there are issues, I still want to see it so bad because I had no problems visualizing this story at all. Maybe it had something to do with some of the kind of production stills that I saw on Twitter that aren't really spoilerly, or that the direction and the stage direction and everything like that just was really clear. I just didn't have a problem visualizing it. So if that's something you're concerned about with this book, don't be, because it's super easy to visualize. This was definitely different than reading a Harry Potter novel. You shift around characters and settings and viewpoints throughout the entire thing, but I really like that. Throughout the main series, you're stuck inside Harry's head, and sometimes I just want to be outside of Harry's head. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of things about this book, and it might not all be positive, but I really think that if you are interested in reading this, then you should read it, see for yourself, form your own opinions. And so this is my opinion. So now it's time for spoilers. You have been warned. After this point, there's going to be spoilers, so I don't want to see anybody in the comments saying, oh, I watched your video and you spoiled so much for me. I'm telling you now, it's all on you now. There are spoilers. Let's talk about the plot. I'm gonna say this plot is weak. It's full of plot holes, and honestly, it's a lot of fanfiction tropes. I did find myself rolling my eyes at some things and being super weirded out, especially that trolley lady thing. That was probably the weirdest thing in this play. A lot of people are calling this book fanfiction, and I think it's mostly to do with that Voldemort's daughter thing. And I'm not happy with this, like, with the bad guy being Voldemort's daughter, because it just doesn't make sense with my reading of Voldemort at all, and I think a lot of other people's opinions of Voldemort, I'm sorry, no T. I just can't see Voldemort as somebody who is interested in the process of having a child, or just having a child in general. Even if his intention wasn't to have a child, I can't, like, sex and Voldemort don't seem like they would mix at all. He just doesn't seem like that's something that he would ever do. Maybe when he was a teenager taking advantage of Hogwarts students, but like not at the time period that they say he has this daughter. Even the argument that he would need an heir doesn't really make sense because Voldemort was under the impression that he was going to live forever anyway, so there's no need for an heir. So why did he have a daughter? Like, I can totally see Bellatrix Lestrange wanting to get up on Voldemort as quick and as many times as she can, but I can't see Voldemort, just that it doesn't make sense with his character and just like the incapacity to love and his selfishness, and it's just like I don't see that. I definitely see Bellatrix, but it's definitely a one-sided thing. Another thing that kind of bothered me about this plot was the time travel and the alternate universes. And I am not a person who likes time travel or alternate universes. It messes with my head, I think too much about it, and then I just go spiraling into a sea of confusion. So it doesn't matter what it's in, I just don't like time travel. I was a little upset with it in Prisoner of Azkaban, but I can deal. But this is, because it's not like the whole thing, that's like the whole thing, is time travel. And I hate time travel so much. But I think that the general idea that the whole time travel thing was kind of showing, I guess, was actually really nice. That everything kind of happened the way it was supposed to happen, and if things didn't happen a certain way, things wouldn't work out. But there are some things that are always the same, like Harry and Ginny are always going to be together. There's always going to be Scorpius and Albus. Ron and Hermione are still going to love each other. Even in the universes that they were apart, you could tell that they still loved each other. Even the one where Ron was married to Padma, there was that thing that they loved each other, and I'm really glad that that's in here, because Ron and Hermione are the OTP of all OTPs, and they transcend all universes. Ron and Hermione were unhappy without each other, they were different without each other, they weren't themselves, and you could tell that Ron and Hermione need Ron and Hermione to be the best Ron and Hermione they could be. I also like that this book really focuses on a father-son relationship, because we really don't get that in the main series. The Harry Potter series is most definitely about the relationship between a son and a mother, and it's all about mothers. But this book is about fathers and sons, and it's about fathers and being a good father and things like that. It's really nice to see a father-son relationship in the context of the Wizarding world. I really like that it's Harry trying to deal with being a good father to kids when he really didn't have any real father figures that were either A, good, or B, stuck around. Harry did have Mr. Weasley, but I don't feel like Mr. Weasley really did as much fathering as Mrs. Weasley did mothering throughout the series. I feel like Harry got his fathering from Mr. Weasley probably after the books happened and as he grew up and he was like a man, and so he doesn't have a really good example of trying to raise kids as a father. So let's talk characters. There's a bunch of new characters in this story, and there's a bunch of old characters, and there are some that stuck out in good ways and in bad ways. The first good character is Scorpius Malfoy. I love Scorpius Malfoy. I think he's everybody's favorite new character. He's just such a treasure. Scorpius has such like a dark cloud around him, being from the Malfoy family and the reputation that comes with that, and this whole like weird rumor that he's Voldemort's son. Like, side note, the Wizarding world is like really mean to kids, but even despite all of this, Scorpius still remains to be such a fun-loving, nerdy, goofy kid, and I really feel like Scorpius is a lot of the heart of this book. In conjunction with Scorpius, Draco Malfoy is so good in this book. Like, Draco fans, you're gonna have a field day with how good Draco is in this book. I really think that Draco definitely learned from his childhood and the way he was brought up, and he wanted to basically raise Scorpius as the exact opposite of that. He did such a good job with wanting to protect his kid and loving his kid and everything like that, and Scorpius grows up not with any of the prejudices that Draco grew up with. He doesn't seem like he's entitled at all. He just knows compassion and love, and I'm so proud of Draco for making such a big change and raising his kid along with his wife, obviously, who probably had a huge influence on this. He just made such a great beautiful child. I love Scorpius Malfoy. On the opposite end, I hated Ron in this book, and that's saying something because I am like Ron Weasley fangirl number one. I love Ron so much and I defend him so much throughout the books, but just Ron in this play just didn't feel like Ron at all. He felt like movie Ron and not book Ron. Ron was just sort of like extra. He was there to be comic relief. While he is kind of the funny one, he's also strong and smart and funny, and he has so much heart, and I was just waiting for him to do something to offer Harry some sort of real aid, or whether in actions or in words or anything Ron-like, but he just doesn't. He's just there to make jokes about Draco's ponytail. There's literally a scene where Harry, Ron, and Draco and Ginny are all standing up saying, "We're gonna fight this. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do this together." And then Ron gets up there and is like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna be left out, so I'm gonna stand up here with you guys." Like, that's literally what happens, and it just breaks my heart so much because Ron is such a good character and he is kind of destroyed in this. I just really feel like Ron was wasted. Despite all of the weird and negative things I've said or thought, or you've heard other people say about this book, I really do feel like it really speaks to the core of the Harry Potter novels. It stays true to the themes of the books. Scorpius and Albus are outsiders of the rest of the school, just like Harry, Ron, and Hermione were. They get unwanted attention, they're mocked, they're made fun of, there are rumors about them, but they still have such a strong friendship, and that I felt like really mirrored Harry, Ron, and Hermione's friendship. That their friendship stood the test despite all of these bad things, and definitely Harry Potter is a book series about strong friendships. Their friendship is strong and it gets them through everything, just like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. And Harry, even at 40, he's going through life blindly and just sort of feels like he's just winging it like normal, and he says wrong things and he does bad things, but he always has his friends and his family there to help him out and to vanquish the evils, may they be physical or emotional. And these are the things that kind of really draw me to Harry Potter. Of course, like, the adventures and the mystery and the world and the magic are all really, really great things, but I really do feel like Harry Potter is a story about love, it's a story about friendship, and how those things can help you through life to defeat anything, and that's what Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is about. It's about love and family and friendship. So that's my review for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of it. What were some things you liked and disliked? Do you agree with me? Do you hate everything that I said? I don't know. These are just my thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'm Christy Lou. Till next time, matane! I also uploaded a kind of special video. As I was reading Cursed Child, I kind of filmed my reactions and thoughts as I was reading it. So it's a really bad quality video, but it's really raw and I cry a lot and it's kind of embarrassing. But there's links to that in the description below and at the end of the video, so you can check that out too if you would like.